Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Graz bringing you another review, and this time around we are bringing Shokz StarCraft 2 Mastery Guide. Now I'm pretty sure you might have seen Shokz somewhere along the line, whether you were searching around on the internet or you might have been on Facebook and you saw it on the ads column. But Shokz has been around for a while now, and he offers up a pretty good guide. And you're probably figuring, well, all these guides, which ones are good and which ones are offering BS? Well, I can tell you for the most part, this guide will deliver upon what it says, as long as you pretty much do your part and follow through on what you get. Now, the price tag for this guide is 37 bucks, so on a scale, that's pretty much on average, maybe a little bit cheaper than some of the other guides, so it's pretty good on that part. I've seen maybe more expensive guides, probably not worth it, but $37 is very acceptable. Now, first and foremost, we will talk about the content layout of the guide. First being inside the members area, you will first notice that on the right hand side you will have all your information you will need for things such as your campaigns, that is if you need help finishing the missions up, or some quick tips to get all the achievements for it. Hotkey guides and actions per minute guide, you will find that very helpful once you start playing on multiplayer. Actions per minute will make a difference depending upon which level you're in. Custom map training, general guides for things such as scouting, doing your mineral and gathering, and of course you have your race guides for your Terran, Zerg, and Protoss, which are very handy, and things such as working in a team for team guides, achievement guides, and such. So it's pretty much a very simple layout on the right hand side, and of course on the center page is all your main information, any updates and such, where you can follow Shokz guide at like Facebook and YouTube and all, any updates. But for the most part, it's a pretty simple layout. Now they also have a PDF form available for it as well. You just have to search for a little bit. I really did not take the time to go through it, but for the most part the PDF is good if you choose not to go online and keep switching over from screen to screen. As for content, if you take a look at the right hand side of the screen, you will have a list of several different things. First and foremost, you will have your campaign missions. Each link is going to send you to a page where it will give you detail by detail how to beat that mission and to thoroughly go through and check the map for each thing you may need in there. So it is very thorough, it is very helpful, and it is pretty damn good. Next up from the campaign and missions is going to be hotkeys and APM guides. They are very handy for online play, as you will know that the multiplayer can be very macro and micro intensive, so that will be something you'll definitely want to take a look at. Custom training maps. These are maps you can download and work through by yourself. They will test your skill on each different things. One will be your unit tester map, another is multitasking, and the other is a build order tester map. I have some personal experience with the build order tester map, and that really helps. It really gets you set pat on what kind of plan you want to use. I did not get a chance to use my StarCraft series that much. I've only went through maybe 3 episodes, and I canned it after interest was fading, if there was any interest at all, to be honest. The build order tester does help, and it's something that if you're getting started into on the multiplayer, I would suggest you take a look at and get used to. General guides for simple things such as scouting, race comparison, and mineral and gathering. You can go through and take a look at that. And of course you have your 3 race guides for things such as Terran, Protoss, and the Zerg. They are going to give you a breakdown and a thorough look at what each build will entail. For the most part, pretty much pick and choose what you want to go through here. There's just so many different guides in this section that you'll just have a hard time trying to master them all, but it's great. The fact that they have that many guides for each different race is definitely A+ good stuff. And down at the bottom you'll have things such as achievement guides, you have a team guide if you choose to go 2 versus 2 and such and whatnot. So for the most part the layout is pretty easy. Everything you'll need is pretty much on the right hand side. The center part is going to mainly consist of communication, any details such as updates, where you can follow the creator of Shokz guides and other details such as that. Now for the content's pretty deep. cheap. Like I said, it's all on the right hand side. You can check your Wings of Liberty campaign missions right here, and it's very thorough. It gives you a breakdown and a step-by-step view of how each mission works, how to execute various different things, and definitely A+ stuff. When they did these mission breakdowns, they did a very thorough job. It's very impressive. The content for the hotkey and APM guides, it's quite good. It's not going to have you as an expert player after the first read. It's basically information you're going to take and try to apply to your own game. So don't expect to read it, pop out, and be the best right off the top, but something you definitely want to take a look at. The custom training maps, especially if you're just starting out on multiplayer, I highly suggest you would take a look at. These are very handy, and they get you in the right mindset when you start playing multiplayer. Things especially such as the build order tester map. General guides, if you want to take a browse over them, I mean, I'm sure there's some pretty helpful tips in there. I myself took a peek. Didn't really find anything that I really needed, but to each person's different, and I'm sure it could probably help a lot of people out there. As for the race guides, such as the Terran, Zerg, and Protoss, you're not going to need to know every single one of them. Pretty much pick and choose the ones you think you may be most comfortable with, and I highly recommend that you have at least 2 or 3. Having one build order is not very reliable. You want to have at least 2 or 3. Something to fall back on if something goes wrong, or if you go up against a different race where your original build order just simply isn't going to cut it. But I mean, really, they took the time and they've gathered a lot of good build orders here for each individual race. And the thing is, they simply have more build orders coming up soon. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. The achievement guides, I really haven't dabbled too much into those. I'm not really much of an achievement hog. I mean, they're nice to show off to your friends and get some rewards, but for me, it's not something I'm kind of into right now. But like I said, to each his own. Somebody out there may want to go ahead and grab all those. Team guides, another one of those things for me just personally. I like my one-on-one. You know, I know there's people out there that like do groups, 2 and 2 as such, so if you're just starting out, maybe that's something you definitely want to take a look into. But if it's anything like the rest of the guide, I'm pretty sure their team guides are pretty detailed and very well done as well. As for the value, I mean, $37 for all of this, I think it's a pretty good value. As I said before, $37, it's for the most part pretty much average for a guide. If anything, it might be on the cheap end. For other guides, I've seen $40, $50 per guide. And of course, there's some other guides out there that think they can charge up to $70, which is definitely overpriced. But $37 for this guide is a very good value for everything that you're really getting. You're getting a lot of good detail pulled together in one place. And like I stated, you can get that in PDF form, so you can have it pretty much on the go. So all in all, everything's done on a good standing ground. Definitely very impressive when I first got on here and gave it a look. As I stated, I really didn't get a chance to put my knowledge from this guide to test. If you really wanted to compare, you can take a look at my StarCraft series from episode 1 and check episode 3. I think that would pretty much be a good contrast on how things went. But for the most part, if you stick with it, you know, look back, check yourself a couple weeks from where you started off at, you may notice a pretty noticeable difference. All in all, this guide can really help you step it up to the next level if you really apply yourself. All the information's there. It pretty much relies on the user on how they can apply it and how they execute it. So I would like to thank you for watching another Graz Reviews video. This has been Graz. I hope you found this to be enjoyable. Keep your eyes peeled for another video to come out shortly soon. Who knows? I don't even know just yet at this current time. But in the meantime, if you need to find out any more information on when videos are coming out, check us out on Facebook. Or you can go to our website at www.paraboypro.com. You can check my email right there and send me an email if you have any questions or comments. As for this video, you can feel free to leave them down below. And I will see you guys next time.